It's a bit different from the old boat. Actually, this boat is much harder to maneuver in the marina.
And I'm so happy to be back out on the water.
We're on our first trip with Arcticus, our new little sailboat. We sailed to an uninhabited island and the weather was just amazing.
The exhaust pipe is leaking.
Turns out that the exhaust pipe was clogged with soot. But it came out and we fixed the small leak that was still there. Now we're ready to head back out to sea again. This morning it was my turn to maneuver as we were leaving the dock.
How do you think it behaves?
In reverse.
Yeah.
And it behaves in its own way, not as we want it to behave. Just glad it's not windy and that it's not that tight between.
Another day, another try. The engine seems to be running fine. Almost. I mean, the boat seems to be really dirty. The hull needs a good clean, and also probably the prop. We're doing around 4 knots, and there's absolutely no wind at all today. Totally flat calm. So probably we'll have to motor most of the day today. Or not the whole day. It's 3 hours if we have to motor the whole way to Hellevik.
What speed are we doing now? 3?
Yeah, something like that.
Have you filmed the fly invasion in the cockpit?
Most of them are actually gone.
We put up some shade on, so because we were sitting on the foredeck because of all the flies back here. Vera's watching a movie, relaxing. We're struggling to make her use her life vest. She doesn't want to use it. And we're showing everyone is using a life vest, but at least we got her to use the harness. So she has that and attached with a line. It's not easy. Very strong mind right now.
Yeah, now we have a bit of a breeze. Not a lot, but at least we're sailing slowly. But we're getting there. What's happening?
Removing the flies.
Yeah, they're really everywhere.
Yeah, it's pretty good that we've had a lot of spider webs because they got stuck in the spider webs. But we had hundreds. Jag har bara den här låten i huvudet. I am sailing, I am sailing.
Johan got to borrow a mask from a boat neighbor so that he could dive and look at the hull of Arcticus.
The prop is just fully encrusted with barnacles. So there's a good reason why there was so much vibration and the boat was going so slow on their engine. So I'm trying to remove all of it now, and I think it will be a major difference tomorrow when we're trying the engine. I mean, the whole hull is also, there's a lot of grass, or not a lot of barnacles on the hull, but it's dirty. So of course that also adds that the boat is very slow. It's actually a lot warmer in the water here than at Linda.
Yeah.
I think it's around maybe 18 or something.
It took him a while to remove those big barnacles off the propeller and the rudder. After dinner, we went to have a look at the Trad Jazz Festival. It's been going on for 18 years. Both Swedish and international artists come here to play. And Hellevik is the perfect location. It's a tiny old fishing village by the water, and it's so picturesque here.
Nej. Du filmade dig själv. Du får vända på den. Nej. Har du sovit gott?
Det.
What a difference with the engine since I cleaned the prop. We used to do, before I cleaned the prop, the maximum speed by engine was 3.8. Now we're easily doing 5.4.
Oh, what?
Yes.
Wow!
And I haven't even cleaned the hull yet, so.
And
What-
much less vibration.
Yes. What a difference.
This is the autopilot setup on Arcticos.
We are close-hauled and heading for Hanö that we visited a bit over 2 years ago. We have the wind coming from northeast. So we have headwinds today. So we're gonna tack our way to Hanö. We'll see how many tacks we have to do. We have, how much do we have? 4.3 nautical miles left. We've just rounded a big shoal area. So we have to round that and go a little bit south. And now we're heading a bit north again. The steering is very responsive. it responds immediately. So you just have to do very small movements. Our Windex, the instruments that shows where the wind is coming from, is sitting just above the solar arch, which is not very optimal. You should have it in the top of the mast so it doesn't interfere with anything. So we can't really look at that. It seems to be kind of correct actually right now. So I'm just looking a little bit at the speed and on the course on the compass. How do you think she sails?
She sails heavy. She has a lot of weight for her size. So, I mean, she's not the fastest boat, that's for sure, but I think in a blow, when the wind is up, she will feel really safe. And she behaves well. Today is the first day with some wind, but it's not a lot. Tomorrow, when we're sailing back to Åhus, the forecast says we'll have 18 knots, but downwind, so that will be interesting to see how she behaves downwind with a bit more wind. Feels like a small Halbarassi or something like that from the 80s. Heavy going. Nice, I like it. Well, the head sail has a really nice cut. It's easy to get a good trim, at least going upwind. This boat doesn't have any tracks for the Genoa cars, so only blocks on the side that you can move around. But even so, the sail is really forgiving since it has quite high cut in the foot here. So right now I would say it's perfectly sheeted. All the telltales all the way up are streaming aft in a good way, not a lot of disturbance.
Tacking with this boat was easy, and we did a few tacks before arriving to the marina. On our way to Hanö, we saw 14 boats leaving the marina. It really is a popular stop.
I'm so happy to be back on this island. So pretty here, and it's so idyllic. And the people who live here, there are around, I don't think there are as many as 20, maybe 15 households that lives here permanently. It used to be around 30, but there have been a lot of old people living here and they have passed away. But there are a lot of summer houses. They have been living on for generations. And everyone is really, you can tell that people who have a house here, they really care about the island and the surroundings. There are so many pretty flowers everywhere. Everything is really well kept, and I really like that. Right now we're on our way to a little beach over here. And we found some björnbär. What do you call that in English?
Not sure.
Björnbär.
The island is getting connected to the mainland sewer and water system, and also internet, I think. That's why they have this operation going on out here. A pipeline from the mainland over there. The village here is kind of fenced off from the rest of the island because there's so many deers. Oh, I see it here.
After a swim in the ocean, we walked into the forest.
There's really a lot of deers on the island. You see them everywhere, really. They're not a natural part of the fauna on the island. They have been brought here many years ago, I guess. We've been visiting quite many islands now in Sweden the last few years, and I have to say Hanö is really one of my favorites. This island has so much to offer. Nice harbor, really nice nature and some wildlife. Är det skönt att gå barfota?
Ja. You're such a nature's child, Vera. Ja. Åh, vadå, en sten där i? Fint.
We can just say, don't miss a visit to Honna.
It's time to head back to Åhus. It's about 18 nautical miles. The forecast says that we're going to have gusts to up to 18 to 20, so it looks like we could have some good sailing today, but it will be straight downwind, so we're probably going to sail wing on wing. Later today there is some rain and maybe some thunder and lightning coming in. Finally we have some wind and some proper sailing, even if it's straight downwind. We're wing on wing now, doing 5.5 knots over ground on a direct course to Åhus.
Ja. Ja, det där. Ja.
It was a great 19 nautical miles long sail back to Åhus, and we've had the best days aboard Arcticus. Now new adventures awaits. If you enjoyed this episode, we would be so happy if you would like to join our Patreon crew and support our production. See you next week!